Sorry, we got cut off with that last question. So, just to sort of continue with that, um, both political parties or the official parties in town have less than stellar reputations when dealing with feedback that doesn't sort of align with their plan. In other words, there's a feeling or a suspicion, there's a predetermined outcome on their part, and any deviation from that is met with all sorts of stuff. I mean, we saw that with, I don't know if you're familiar, if you paid attention during Paul Donnelly's tenure, he was one independent voice. I don't know if I agreed with him at all, on everything, but I mean, he was. I mean, you watch any meeting and see how he was treated. Look at the BOE and what happened with board members who actually had legitimate questions about the field that ended up being the right questions to ask. Two questions to that: how do you imagine yourself responding to criticism? But secondly, how would you deal with the pressure of sort of that like one think or that single think kind of, what's that word?
Party line thinking.
Party line thinking, the silo thinking, and that pressure to just sort of, and it's immense pressure to sort of, hey, just shut up and just go with this, right? I mean, how do you guys see yourselves handling
I
that?
mean, you can take it.
I never lived my life like that. I never will live my life like that. I go with what is right, and often the residents tell us what's right because they're living in town. And yes, we're the stewards of the taxpayers' money, and ultimately the council and the mayor will make the decision. But we should be taking their thoughts and everything into consideration, and ultimately going with what the township wants, what the residents want, because I will never just toe the line to toe the line. I'm here for the residents. I mean, my wife can say, I'll be wrong on a lot of things, and you know what? It's fine. I'm learning. So as long as we're all learning together and making decisions that are best for the residents, that's what matters.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to add, kind of basically what he's going on is, I mean, every day that I go to work, I'm a doctor. People criticize me. That's okay. I'm not going to pretend to know every single fact in the book. That's absurd. If I don't know it, I'll figure it out. But just take the criticism in strides. I don't think running this town council is so much of a partisan thing. We're not making major U.S. political decisions here. We're deciding how to manage our floodwater and treatment plants and whatnot. This is not national news. This is local news. So we need to do things that make sense, even if it may seem that it's not in with the party line or what's more on the national agenda. It's what's best for us. It's not, I don't care what's happening 3,000 miles away. It doesn't matter for our local issues.
All right.
Residents will always come first with Mike and I, and that's a guarantee that we give to you. I mean, we're independent thinkers, and we're in it for Berkeley Heights.
So one final question. What was the biggest sort of like thing you learned in this process, through this process? The thing that either disappointed you the most, or the thing that made you feel most hopeful? Either one.
So think about that for a second.
I'll go with that
Yeah.
one. So one thing that made me feel most hopeful is, like, today I was going around talking with people, and this is where, like, I talk to Democrats, Independents, Republicans, and like people are so excited to see a fresh face, to hear that we want to help them, and it makes me proud to be a member of our town. What disappoints me the most is that, like, it's like you said, like, you get pulled from both sides to, like, have like these predetermined decisions, and Mike and I push back on that, and we say no. We're going to help the residents, and if it means that we get a little pushback, we get a little pushback, but we're here for you guys.
Yeah. I honestly, as Glenn was saying it, I was kind of formulating exactly pretty much what Glenn was saying. Hearing that it's not the same people running. It's not some old dude that no one knows. It's been like a kind of refreshing and kind of rewarding experience. When I first started this journey, actually Glenn was probably a couple days ahead of me, and Glenn reached out to me and kind of brought the idea to my head, and I was like, wow, that's that sounds awesome. Let's do it. Like, there's real issues that need to be addressed here, and I'm ready to tackle it. Yeah, hearing some of the local people that you run into walking around knocking on doors. Some will talk to you, some won't. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But I think the overall consensus is, we're excited.
Good.
Let's see where this goes.
No, I'm super excited. Actually, it's funny. Somebody asked me, "Well, what's going to be day one if you win?" I said, "I'm getting to work." I said, "Like, let's get this going." I don't take breaks. I'm up in the middle of the night reading, these ordinances, going over everything. Every dollar that you earn goes to taxes. I take it to heart that, like, no dollar should be spent other than to help the town, and I mean that wholeheartedly. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you guys are going to definitely need a ground game. They have the money, so that's not a criticism. I mean, that's just a fact.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
they
course.
have the money. So column A, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
column A, 8A, and 9A, and let's do it together, people. Let's make Berkeley Heights good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you for
John.
coming out. Appreciate it.